Okay, say when. Hey guys, Chris from Nations here. Today, I'm going to be giving you a quick rundown of what I'm playing with here and how I make my guitar sound the way it does. So my main guitar of choice that I've been using here is a TMG Guitars Gatton. It's their Telecaster model. This one in particular, I worked with Jonathan in building. It has a 10-inch radius, which is a pretty thin profile, so I can really wrap my hand around. It's kind of like a toothpick size neck, but wrap my hand around it, easily navigate the fretboard. It's fantastic. Medium C shape. Slider 52 single coil pickups and Emerson custom pots. This is musical grade swamp ash. It weighs probably like 3 pounds, and it is just a workhorse. You know, when I'm done with it, I just flip it over and chop vegetables on the back. You know, this thing has just been a beast. I've taken on the road with me everywhere. I take it to every venue that I play. It's just my numero uno. My backup is my Les Paul, but generally this is the one I go to. So now, coming out of my amp here, this is a Princeton Reverb reissue. I obviously can't afford a original, so I do with the next best thing. This is the tremolo on board. I don't really use these two. I have a pedal that I can go over later on that really takes care of this. I actually enjoy the reverb that comes with the Princeton. Sometimes, you know, it's just kind of a hassle to lug my pedal board around, so I just plug in direct, play with the onboard reverb. I generally leave my treble a little bit higher than the bass because in this particular amp, the speaker really just packs a low end punch. So in order to cut through the mix, I like to keep my treble right around, 6 and 7, and I keep the bass in between about 3 and 4. So next, I'll take you over to the space station. So first, I'm going to go through everything, kind of give you an idea of what it does, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how everything sounds when I activate it individually. So first, come straight out of the guitar. I like to go right here, my full tone Clyde wah. It has a couple settings here, aptly named after great guitar players or licks. You can hear this on pretty much every solo that I ever do, from the 86.9 record to the live sessions. Next, I have Whammy! I purchased this roughly about 6 months ago, and I absolutely love it. I have to go against the grain, so I can't just get a Pog or a Pog Mini. I got to get something cool that I can control with and have fun with. And from there, into my volume, and then boom, right into the disaster area DPC. This end is the brain and controls all my drives, and then my funky stuff that keeps going. First one here is the JHS modded Soul Food. This is kind of my first stage drive. It's pretty low key, doesn't really break up hard, just gives me a nice little warm gain, so I can kind of be a little bit more present than just a clean tone. Stage 2 is a Petty John Iron Drive. This is my go-to drive. Any kind of crunchy, gainy, anything where I just really need to be present, this is my go-to. Even if it's something low-key, I'll just rock it on the neck pickup, dial the tone knob back, and I'll pretty much always be using this one. Next, it goes into the Jarnig Culmination. A friend of mine got me in contact with the people over at T. Jarnig to make this from Jeff Coleman. So this one has his drive circuit here, but I generally don't use that in a church setting or worship setting. This is kind of like a real nasty, just rock and roll shred machine. But I will use the boost circuit. So this is the boost circuit that comes with it. If I need to just punch through a mix while I'm playing a solo, I'll usually activate this on the brain over here, and that'll just get me popping right through the mix. And then lastly on here, this is the Keeley modded Rat. This one I use mainly for just really heavy, just crunchy stuff. If just drive is not enough, I'll crank that bad boy, and I'll just kill everybody. And then the last two pieces on that are on the brain here is the Chase Bliss Gravitas and the Moog delay here. From there, we pump out to the new Keeley compressor. I absolutely love this thing because I'm using essentially a Telecaster and a Les Paul. One has a single coil, one is utilizing humbuckers. So this nice little switch right here, if I ever have to switch guitars, I can just boom, you know, flip right back into single coil or humbucker. Another nice addition they have here is the blend knob. I try not to turn it up too much because it gets kind of noisy.
Loud noises!
But it just really gives it a nice sound, nice sustain. And then from there, I got my tuner, and then right out to the funky stuff. Big Sky and Timeline, obviously just the delay and reverb of choice for many people. And that's about it. So first things first, run through a clean tone. This is how everything sounds right now through the Princeton. Very nice, sweet little amp. I absolutely love this thing. But right now, first in the chain is the wah pedal, but I don't really use that with a clean tone, not very often. But my first drive, which is the Soul Food, you can tell how it's just something nice. Not something super crazy. Really, ultimately depends on the attack of the strings. If you dial a tone knob back and you play it softly. And then if you bump the tone knob up, maybe switch to a dual pickup. Still maintains a lot of those bright characteristics. So I generally use that for stage one if I'm playing alongside of DJ and I don't want something that takes a lot of attention off of the vocals or something else that's happening in the band. Then stage two, coming into the Iron Drive, this has a little bit more crunch. Again, a lot of that is coming out of the Keeley compressor. It's just holding the sustain. Just really nice. You pair that with the reverb and the delay. It just gives you this really big, full sound. So the Iron Drive is very versatile. It comes with a lot of different options for a low cut clip and everything like that. But you simply switch it to the bridge pickup and it just punches through everything. So that's something that I really appreciate about this drive pedal. And again, like I said, I keep it on pretty much all the time if I'm doing more of an upbeat song. So from there is the boost, and you'll hear a significant change in just the tone alone. This is with it clean. Once I put the boost on, gives it a nice little bit of crunch on top. Paired that with a drive. Again, like I said, if I'm playing, for example, on Offering, while I'm playing, and I just need that boost right at the end for the solo. So, I'm here. Now I need the boost. Bridge pickup, hit the boost. You can hear a huge tonal difference just from activating the boost. So I really only use that whenever it becomes a part that I just need to become dominant, for lack of a better term. And then last for the drives is the Rat, which is that's usually like big solos or songs that have, just big, grandiose distortion. Lion and the Lamb is a good one. I'll usually pair that with the I'll come over here to a dotted eighth, kind of like a bigger reverb. I kind of have small, bigger, biggest on my first bank. So this is generally my setting for that song. Put it up with the octave down, octave up, and you can hear it. So you time it. So that's kind of an idea of where I would use the distortion paired with the whammy. The whammy is very versatile. You can use it for chord stuff. You can also use it for lead lines. That's generally where I use it. You can see here you have a harmony section. Gives you a lot of different options that tend more to like a Scorpion style with those crazy third and fifth solo deals. And then you can switch over here to the whammy side. That gives you the octave change, the fifth change. So that is fun for a lot of different reasons, you know. Tom Morello was actually the one that inspired me to get this. And, you know, if I stack both drives together, put, you know, fat reverb on, you can make it just sound really cool. Crazier, you can come up to the 2 octave, and that just is stupid. Again, obviously I'm not using that all the time, but there will be certain instances if you're coming to see us live or even on the record, not the latest record, but mostly live scenario, I'll use this. Just to kind of give it like a nice little shimmer on the top. Coming over to the delays, like I said, delay and reverb, small, bigger, biggest, and then on bank 1 is kind of where I have all my ethereal stuff. You know, if it's a time for you know, DJ or a speaker is, you know, taking a moment. Usually I have these two paired together. Right here. So invoke setting on bank 3, yeah, 2. And this one you can kind of get a nice little trem setting. Again, I'll use my first drive and then just that's kind of an idea of whenever I just need to fill space without really being present. You can also use that with the iron drive. A nice thing with this is leaving it with the tone knob all the way back. For example, this Sunday we were playing a song in the key of A, so just doing something nice and light. And that's kind of an idea of how everything works here. Obviously the gravitas and the Moog delay is just another bunch of funky weird stuff that I use. It's in my arsenal whenever I decide that I need it. Not very often, but sometimes, you know, duty calls and you just need to pull those bad boys out. But I hope this kind of gave you an idea of how I run things, and I hope to hear your thoughts about it. So thanks for checking it out.